And we are live. All right, sports update. Adrian, Reid, what's good? We're back. We're back. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. So the college basketball season is underway. Excuse me. Michigan State right now currently 2-1. Michigan Wolverines 1-1. So Adrian, what do you think these team ceilings are for the season?
Well, I think Dusty's coming in with a lot of good energy for Michigan basketball. I think he's gonna turn the program around eventually. I think it'll take a little time. I think they can have an opportunity to make the college basketball tournament. We'll see. They got a lot of transfers, a lot of young guys. So we'll see. And as far as Michigan State goes, this is not a super talented team. Michigan State team. They got Jaden Akins back. They got Trey Holloman back. They got Jason Richardson's son, which makes us feel old. Jace Richardson, who's been pretty good these first 3 games for Michigan State. I think they're gonna play hard. Like I told you guys before, the Big Ten will not be a great conference this year, especially in college basketball from top to bottom. So I think Michigan State can make the tournament. I don't think they can make a deep run this year, but they'll be much improved. I think if Tom Izzo can get them to say the Sweet 16, that'll be a good season for them, and for Michigan making the NCAA tournament will be a successful season for each team respectively.
Yeah, we know Adrian's our resident college basketball guy, so I watched a little bit of the Michigan State game, probably about the first half. They look good, in the words of Raaj, they look a little wet behind the ears. Obviously, they are a younger team, so. I think that Izzo's got to get them right, but there are a lot of younger guys that are kind of back with Booker and Fears and a lot of other guys, and then obviously there's your quintessential older point guard that Tom Izzo brings back, or your older guard that Tom Izzo has. So I think that they have a chance. He's got to just get the best out of his players. As far as Michigan goes, I haven't watched a game of Michigan's yet. They were on TV the other day, and I was going somewhere, so I wasn't able to watch the game. But I mean, you have high hopes with what Dusty did at what was it, FAU or not FI? Yeah, FAU.
FAU, yeah.
FAU. So he, like Adrian said, he brought a lot of his guys with him. I know there was the one guy that balled out for them one game. I can't remember his name. White guy that scored like 30 points or something.
That's probably Vlad Golden.
Maybe. I don't remember who it was. But, I mean, yeah, you hope that, you kind of want them to bring that back so there's another rivalry again with Michigan and Michigan State. And because those are at least fun when, both teams are relatively good. But, yeah, I really don't know what to expect out of this college basketball season, to be honest.
Yeah, I also think real quick that Tom Izzo Michigan State's best player needs to be Xavier Booker, the 5-star guy coming out of high school. He's not even starting right now. Tom Izzo's not giving him a lot of minutes, and the team hasn't started the season shooting the ball from the field well at all. They're shooting a whopping 20% as a team collectively, so that's not going to get the job done. If they would have even made a couple threes against Kansas the other night, they would have had a chance to win that game because they were in there all the way through. And he has a lot of faith in Jeremy Fears. Give him a little time. I know. Remember, he's coming off that injury where he got shot in the leg going back home on winter break, I believe, last year, and he missed most of the season, and he's still coming back recovering. So that's a guy I think it can be a Tom Izzo, a true point guard, but all in all, it'll be all right. In Michigan, like I said, they have a lot of transfer guys. Danny Wolf's the guy you're talking about, Reid, the guy.
Yeah, that's who it was.
From Yale. So I think they'll be okay. They got to figure out. They got a couple guys who are waiting to get back from injury. So I think both teams respectively will be solid teams this year. Not national championship contenders, though.
Did any NBA team end up picking up Tyson Walker?
I do not believe. Let me double check on that.
I wanted to say the Wizards. He was on the Wizards, but I'm thinking of Cassius. Cassius got drafted by the Wizards.
Yeah.
I don't think Tyson Walker did.
Yeah, I don't think Tyson Walker.
He is playing for the Texans Legends in the G League. I believe that is the Dallas Mavericks G League team, I believe.
Okay, so he's in the mix. He's in the mix. So
and real quick, one more thing about Michigan basketball. They did last week just signed a 5-star commit, Trey McKinney, from Orchard Lake St. Mary, 6'4" combo guard. So
that kid's supposed to be really good.
Yeah, Yeah, he's legit. Yeah, so they signed him, so that's a good step in the right direction for Dusty May. So he said Michigan was his dream school, so it's a good job to get a 5-star kid in your first recruiting class.
I'm gonna go on St. Mary's game, check them out.
Yes, sir.
So, Adrian, what's the ceiling for your North Carolina Tar Heels, currently ranked 10th?
Like we like to talk about with college basketball, it comes down to guard play. They have the elite guard play with Seth Trimble, R.J. Davis, Elliot Cadeau, and then they got a couple freshman guys, Drake Powell, Ian Jackson. So I think problem is they're lacking a lot of size, and I think that was a problem towards the end of that Kansas game where they blew the game. They could have won it. I hate Hunter Dickinson. But I say right now probably Sweet 16 is probably the ceiling I think they get it, unless they get good guard play. If they happen to match up with a team who has a smaller team that can go far, but I think it's going to be a problem if you have to play like a a Duke or a Kentucky or Auburn. I think those teams are bigger and they're a little more athletic in the front court.
Okay, so Reid, have you seen Cooper Flag play?
Yeah, I watched that game they just played. I mean, he looks incredible. He's as advertised, but he's. I want to be nice about it because I do see what he's trying to do and what he wants to be, but it was like he was doing too much in that game that they just lost against Kentucky. I think he was trying to be the star on the court and wasn't, whether it wasn't other guys getting involved or he wasn't trying to get other guys involved. Really, it just he seemed to be doing. He tried to play too much hero ball, in my opinion, and he got that turnover where he had his hand out of bounds and just a few plays that I think he wish he had back. But forced plays. But he's what? He's 17 years old or something like that, or 18, he just turned 18 or somewhere around. Like, I'm going to give him benefit of the doubt. He's an incredible talent. So I think Duke can be good. He just needs to, again, like we just said, stop forcing plays, stop playing hero ball, and kind of, get the team included. You can still be the leader and get the team included, So, I mean, he's looked good in the what 3 games they've played. I mean, I think they said he's like one of the only guys to score like, what was it? Like 100 points, certain rebounds, certain assists. I don't remember what the stat line was. I'd have to look back up. But yeah, I mean, I think he's going to be as advertised. I saw some people saying that he's not going to go first overall, which I think is like not saying that he's not going to go first overall, but they said that there's a chance that he doesn't go first. I don't think there's a world where he doesn't go first overall.
Yeah,
definitely.
He's going number 1 for sure.
Yeah,
definitely. I agree with that. They just towards the end of that game, I think John Shire did a bad job of making a creative play to actually get him involved. I don't think his ISO game is strong enough just yet for him to just go get a bucket like that. It was super predictable on there, and if they would have been a little more creative, I think you could have got him easier, cleaner shot in that situation. But he's learning on the fly. He's off to a good start. As much as I hate Duke, as we all know, but I'll give credit where credit's due. So
yeah, sure. Yeah, college basketball season fully underway.
Before we continue, do you know when Bailey's supposed to? He hasn't made his debut yet, right? For Rutgers, I think he's missed the first 3 games with an injury.
Yeah, they said it was like a upper body injury. They didn't let me see if they.
Because those 2 guys are the guys that I want to watch. I want to watch Rutgers play to see how those 2. Because they're saying Bailey, him and Adrian, help me out. The other guy's name.
You talking about Dylan Harper?
Yeah, Dylan Harper. Him and Dylan Harper are kind of. I mean, Dylan Harper is obviously a guard, correct? And yes. Bailey plays a forward position. So, but they're saying it's going to be Flag, Bailey, or Harper, or one of those 3. I don't know. I'm interested to see Ace Bailey. I think he's going to be pretty good too. I think he'll make it. I think he could make a conversation for first, but missing these first 3 games has been tough, I think.
They said, I'm reading an article from USA Today. It said his coach said he's close. This is from his past Monday's game. I guess he's dealing with a hip injury he suffered right before the season opener. So I'm gonna assume he'll be back within his next couple of games or 2. But he just signed the NIL deal with Nike, even though Rutgers is a Adidas school. But so if you see him off the court wearing Nike, then he signed a big time deal. So
cool. All right, yeah. Stick with the collegiate sports, football. So Reid, this Saturday you got Michigan State at Illinois. 3-point favorite in that one. How you see that one going? I believe Aiden Childs is back.
Okay. I mean, I don't know really how much that's gonna help. I mean, we all know he's talking about a guy who's forcing too many things. I think if Aiden can collect himself and kind of not turn the ball over, which is a big ask, they can probably beat Illinois. Illinois has kind of been slacking, dealing with a few injuries, so I think they could beat Illinois. Do I see them beating Illinois? I don't know, because it's just this offense. You have Carter in the backfield who's just not being as advertised. Lynch Adams is not getting the ball enough. Aiden's getting sacked a lot. He's turning the ball over. So, I mean, if he can get the ball out fast and get Marsh included, and kind of figure out how to play field general almost, I think they could win. I think they have an opportunity. I just think playing at Illinois and the way that the state team is kind of built right now, with as we've talked throughout the season, a lot of transfers, a lot of new guys, and a lot of injuries, I think it's just going to be tough for them to win. So I would probably take Illinois to win this game.
I agree. Said it's going to be tough. They're with some injuries, but I'm going to go ahead and go with Michigan State. They're fighting for bowl eligibility right now in Jonathan Smith's first year. Like you said, Illinois is not a good team. I think just not a good team. They have some good players, but I just don't see. I think Michigan State can go in there and get the win. It's going to be ugly, as all their games have been this year, but I think they can go in there and do it. Like you said, if Aiden Childs back, I'm definitely rolling with Michigan State.
I'm taking Illinois in those 3 points. I don't trust State on the road in this game. They just haven't shown me enough consistency. If this game was in East Lansing, I probably would have roared with State, but I don't trust them on the road this game. Childs coming back off that injury. I'm running with Illinois in the points. All right, let me see. Ack says, I'm looking out for more upsets in the college football world.
I got one for you, Ack. BYU. They are playing Kansas. Let me double check that spread, but I'm pretty sure they're like 8.5 point favorites.
I will say, I was talking to my other buddies about this. I think it was I think it was Tuesday. Maybe we were talking about this. I think it's great, the dichotomy of college football now. This is the one thing I will say about NIL, is it's made the game of college less predictable as to what teams are going to be good or not. Like, this is the best year of college football when it comes to teams playing against each other that I've seen in a very long time, if that makes sense, if you guys understand it. Like I just think there's like no clear cut. Like, you've always seen like Bama when Saban was there was always the one, or Georgia as of late has been great. But now look, Georgia's lost 2 games. Like there's so much like there's no clear cut one. Like, I still don't even think Oregon's one. I think they just had an easy schedule, but I think there's no clear cut one like in college football today.
Yes, it's an even playing field.
Yeah.
Yeah, the upset I got is Kansas travels to BYU. It's a late kick, 10:15 our time. BYU minus 2.5. That's a little strange to me at home. Supposed to be undefeated, getting Kansas. I think it's kind of catching a little rhythm. Right now, I think they go in there and upset BYU, who should have lost last week to Utah.
Yeah,
but
they got saved by the refs.
Yeah, I'm not a BYU believer. I can tell you that.
Landon Dickerson just got hurt, and he was limping, gingerly walking off the field for the Eagles. So that's a big shot to them.
Come on, Ack. You've been rooting for BYU all year. If they get to the playoff, they're going to get smoked.
Yeah. All right. So, yeah, next game here, Reid. Number 1, Oregon, that you were just talking about, at Wisconsin, going to Camp Randall. Oregon, 14-point favorite in this one. Do they cover?
Wisconsin's been such a weird team like all year. I feel like they've played like decently well to what people would think. Is it Fickle who's up there now? Yeah. Fickle's brought them back and kind of played sneaky good. I think it's just the problem is the quarterback play is not great, but they seem to hang in there with teams. So Camp Randall's a hard spot to play, and I've always said it. My buddy gives me a hard time when I talk about Camp Randall being a top 10 atmosphere to go play in. So I'd take an Oregon to win, but I would take Wisconsin at a 14.5. I think a team. I mean, Michigan put up 17 against Oregon.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
And so I think they ended up covering their spread, didn't they? Weren't they like they were around there? I think, but
yeah, Michigan didn't cover.
Oh, they didn't? Okay.
No.
I think Oregon scored late, so they didn't cover.
With like 27 seconds left.
Yeah. So, I mean, I honestly, I think playing in Camp Randall is still going to be tough. So I'm going to take the points with Wisconsin, but Oregon obviously to win.
It's a 7:30 kick on NBC and Big Ten Saturday night, as I like to call it now, which is it's been awful. Some of the games we've got on that. But
is Van Dyke playing quarterback for Wisconsin?
Nope, and that's where I was about to. Exactly where I was about to go. I think it's Braden Locke is been Wisconsin's quarterback. No Van Dyke. Oregon, I believe. Wisconsin will keep it close for the first quarter and a half, and then Oregon is going to just blow their doors off and get out of there with an easy victory.
Yeah, if Wisconsin's playing a backup quarterback, I'm gonna take Oregon in the points. I think it is going to be a tight game early, playing a night game at Camp Randall, but Oregon, they just got better athletes. They're just better than Wisconsin, so I can see them pulling away in the second half. So yeah, I'll run with Oregon in the points there. All right, so Reid, you got number 3 Texas at Arkansas. Texas 12-point favorite. How you see that one going?
Yeah, I take Texas in the points. I know we've talked about Arkansas being like a sneaky, gritty team, but I still think Texas is out to have something to prove. I would take Texas in the points. I don't see anything. I don't see Arkansas really putting up a fight against Texas.
I do see Arkansas putting up a fight, but with that said, I'm going to agree with Reid and take Texas. The problem with Arkansas, they fought all year, but you just don't know which Arkansas team you're going to get. You get Jekyll and Hyde. And it also depends on what you're going to get from Taylor Green. One moment he's great, former Boise State quarterback, the transfer, he's looked good. Gets hurt in that Tennessee game, and they ended up winning that game anyways. And I thought they were going to have a chance to beat LSU at home, but then they get their doors blown off. And just like Reid talked about, the cycle college football this year has been so up and down. It's so unpredictable, but I just believe Texas is ready to go. Quinn Ewers had his best game of the season last week, and I think offense is going to get rolling, and Texas is going to beat them handily.
I think this game is a little closer than what people think. I think people think Texas is going to go to Arkansas. It's going to be a track meet. They did look very good last week. I'm not taking nothing away from them. But I like Arkansas to cover. I'm taking Texas by 10. Texas by 10. So, yeah, I like Arkansas to cover. Let's see. Ish is Wisconsin will upset Oregon. Okay.
Not a chance, Ish. I don't know if he's watched Braden Locke play. It's not happening.
I mean, if you want an easy upset, I would just say Georgia over Tennessee.
That was next game.
Okay, I'll wait. I'll save it for this game.
That's the next game, Reid. Georgia favored by 10 points. Do they cover that?
Yeah, I would say I mean, as far as covering it, I don't know, but I would still take Georgia to win an upset, even though I don't even know if it's an upset right now because of the way that the voting. I mean, if they're favored by 10 points, it's not an upset. But yeah, I think Nico is not supposed to play this game. I think he's dealing with an injury, so they're saying that he might be out. I think Georgia's trying to fight for a spot in the college football playoff. Even with 2 losses, I still think they're going to try and sneak in. Hope maybe Texas or someone else, one of these other teams that can get 2 losses can drop one maybe. So yeah, I would take Georgia in the points, especially if Nico's not playing. It is an upset in the sense of rankings, though.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going to take Georgia as well. I just don't know if Nico's going to play. Some people are saying he has a concussion. Some people are saying not. And that's the thing with college football right now. Can we please get a rule change like they have like the NFL? At least list the guys questionable. Like, can we get something? These coaches are able to just hide everything. It's just so aggravating. I tell you guys this all the time. But with that said, I'm taking Georgia. They're back against the wall. Kirby's going to give them a fiery speech, and if they can't win one in this situation, and it's just not meant to be for Georgia this year, Carson Beck has to stop turning the football over as well.
He's bad. He looks bad. I won't say he is bad, but I will say he looks bad.
So Reid, does Carson Beck still go in the first round?
At this rate, there's people I've said that would say yes because he has all the talent in the world. He just needs to go and sit somewhere. But I wouldn't put a first round grade on Carson Beck. He wouldn't be in my first round. I don't even have one on Quinn Ewers anymore, to be honest with you.
No.
Maybe sneak in the later rounds. Like if somebody was like desperate for I would look at maybe if the Jets wanted to take a flyer on it, but you have far more needs than that. But yeah, I don't see Carson Beck getting drafted in the first round. There's 3 guys, but we'll talk about that later anyway.
Okay. All right, cool. Yeah. I like Georgia in that one as well. I do like Tennessee to cover that 10 points, but I like Georgia to win. All right.
Do you like them to cover even if Nico doesn't play?
Oh, no. If Nico doesn't play, then
Yeah,
I'll take Georgia in the points. But that's not in stone yet, is it?
It hasn't been said yet, but it's leaning that way with a concussion. It's tough. If Nico does play, I did say if Nico does play, I'll take Tennessee. But if he doesn't, I'm taking Georgia.
Agreed. All right, last game here, Adrian. Utah at Colorado. Colorado 11-point favorite in this one.
Just give me Colorado. I can't say anything more about right now what's going on with them. It's a great story in Boulder. Travis is arguably the Heisman front runner. Shador's playing amazing football. Keon's turned this thing around. And Utah is just depleted with injuries. I'm tired of talking about Cam Rising. I'm tired of talking about Brent Keithy. I think Kyle Whittingham retires after the season. It's gotten that bad in Colorado. Utah. It's got stale. But give me Colorado and the cover.
Yeah, I got to take Colorado too. My sister and brother-in-law are going to this game. My nephew unfortunately isn't. He's got his fraternity formal that day, so he's going to be missing the game unfortunately. But I just think Colorado really surprised me with how they played last weekend. I think they're kind of getting it together. They've kind of had it together, but I still think that they're going to be there. They have something to prove. So Utah doesn't seem to be the same Utah team that we thought they were going to be in the beginning of the year, at least in my opinion. So yeah, I would take Colorado to win that. What was the spread on
it? Colorado spread by 11.
Yeah, they're at home. I would take the 11. I'm fine with that.
And they are favored to flip a 4-star fringe 5-star quarterback Julian Lewis, who's committed to USC right now. So Deion's got some momentum on the recruiting trail as well. And they take a quarterback from USC, which we know Lincoln Riley's known as a quarterback whisperer, although they've been awful this year. But this is another good sign for what they're doing over there in Boulder.
We'll take Deion at FSU, and he can just follow him, so they'll have a good quarterback. How about that? Mm-hmm. We'll do that. I like that plan.
Yeah, I could definitely see him going back to his alma mater. Yeah,
should have offered him when he was planning on leaving Jackson State.
Sure.
Right. Well, yeah, I like Colorado in that one as well. I think Utah is. I think they're starting their third string quarterback. Zach Wilson's little brother. They say is supposed to be starting.
Isaac Wilson. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's
not the 35-year-old Cam Rising. He's not going to play. I think he's older than all of us.
If he's granted another year of eligibility, I'm going to lose it. I'm literally going to lose it. Go do something else.
He would get a pension at that point.
They're going to do him like how they did to his brother last year. They didn't let him come back. They made him into the draft. I think they end up doing the same thing with Cam Rising.
Please, we've seen enough. We don't need to see anymore.
Yeah, he can't finish a full season anyway. So,
bro's 28, still living in college.
That's crazy.
Let's see. David says Dylan Gabriel, my Heisman front runner. What you think about that, Reid?
I mean, it's a quarterback award, so I could see it, but I don't think he's the best quarterback. I think he plays on the best team. I don't think he's the best quarterback. My front runner has flipped to Travis Hunter and Genty back to 2. You know how they just keep flopping for me because they're both playing amazing. I just can't. It's just one week one plays better than the other, so it just switches like every week. So, do I think one of them are going to win it? Absolutely not. Maybe Travis. Travis might because he just has like the more recognizable like name. I mean, Genty obviously has a recognizable name, but Travis has more marketability in my opinion.
Okay. All right, cool. So would you put Gabriel third right now?
Yeah, probably, especially after Cam Ward losing and Rourke not having a great game against Michigan. Who else could you have up there?
Milroe.
Yeah, Milroe. I mean, he hasn't been playing great.
He's into the discussion as well, for sure.
I mean, he is in the discussion. He's in the top 5. I mean, those guys people don't want to put Rourke in there, but he's had a good season. He just was hurt one game. But, I mean, you could cycle out, Gabriel, Ward, and Milroe right now for the 3 quarterbacks.
Yeah, I want to see
Brother walking by.
I want to see Gabriel go to the Dolphins and back up Tua. I think that'd be a good fit for him.
I think somebody will get suckered into picking Dillon Gabriel. I don't think he's going to be a good college quarterback. He's too small. He's
way
smaller.
too small.
He's smaller than Kyler, I think, and he doesn't run. He's not nearly as mobile as Kyler.
He's smaller than Kyler?
I'm pretty sure. I think he's like Bryce Young's height. He might be smaller than Bryce Young. I think Dillon Gabriel's like 5'10".
I think they had him listed at 6 feet, I believe. Either 5'11" or 6 feet for sure. But he's not the athlete. He's not the athlete that Kyler Murray is.
He's according to Wikipedia and Google, he's listed at 5'11".
Okay.
So, I mean, just barely pushing 6 feet. I don't think. I mean, yeah, backing up Tua would be fine. Like, I think that's okay. I just don't think that, like, as a Miami fan, would I be excited about it? Probably not. But, I mean,
just a good insurance policy.
Yeah, for sure. But, I mean, I wouldn't be, like, over the moon about it. There's a lot of other guys I'd rather draft later in the draft to back up Tua.
Cam Rising.
No, actually, you know who I think they could take is who would actually be fun to watch is the kid out of Kansas, Jalen Wright. Is that his name?
He's injury prone too. He's had 2 or 3 back injuries. It's frustrating. I wish the Kansas team that played last week, the last couple weeks you would have seen the entire season because they've been a huge disappointment.
Actually, Miami, gonna sound crazy saying this, but a good player that Miami could take and they wanted to back up Tua or have him sit, which I don't know if he would necessarily want to sit, would be Quinn Ewers. I think he would be a fine person to take to back up Tua.
Yeah,
I could see that.
Yeah, I think Quinn Ewers and Gabriel are like second-round guys in my opinion.
Quinn Ewers has definitely moved to second round. He started off the year obviously with all the hype as a first rounder, but yeah, I definitely think he's going to be a day 2 guy.
I think there's only 1 or 2 guys who, in my opinion, are first-round caliber quarterbacks. I think, as we all know, I think there's gonna be a team next year's draft that reaches for a quarterback because they're so desperate. It always happens every year. Fortunately, my Steelers or your Lions don't have to worry about that. So, but it happens every single year.
Someone's going to catch the draft type bug. We all know it. You know what's going to happen. And I'm not just picking on him because I'm picking on him, but I'll choose a different Anthony Richardson. Look at him. He hasn't been playing great. Not saying he can't be good, but he definitely got the draft hype built around him, and he got drafted all the way at what, 5th? So 4th. It's like 4th. So
yeah, I kind of think with him, like situations like him, that's more of like the NFL's fault. Like these guys, NFL is not patient enough. They want to throw these guys in quick, and he's more of a developmental guy. Like they used to let guys sit. Look at Jordan Love. He sat for 3-4 years, and he's going to be all right. Peyton Manning, I mean, he came in first year, but Aaron Rodgers sat. Carson Palmer sat. You got to get these guys some confidence. I think it helped Anthony Richardson, but I just think you got to kind of know what situation you're dealing with. It all depends on the organization you go to and what the timeline is. These coaches feel so much pressure to win, but they're just not making the smartest decisions.
The problem with the Anthony Richardson thing is the last thing I'll say, and we can get back to college. They tried too hard to comp him to Josh Allen, and he's not the athletically gifted quarterback that Josh Allen is. He's athletically gifted. He's just not as athletically gifted in the skill of being a quarterback as Josh Allen.
Yeah, he came out of Florida with like 12, 13 starts.
Yeah,
something like that. It was 2 years, and he played his second year, and I think he had 1 or 2 starts maybe coming into his first year.
Crazy.
Yeah,
his stats in college are mirrored images of Joe Milton's. Like they're the exact carbon copies. If you look at them, they're very, very close.
You know who else only started really 1 full year of college football, and you guys are gonna laugh. This guy was a top 3 pick, Mitchell Trubisky.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see how that ended for us. I think teams are realizing they need more experience from quarterbacks. So it's okay if they play 4 or 5 years in the league. I mean, in college and go to the NFL because you're ready to go. Look at Jaden Daniels right now. So I just think it just kind of depends too as well. So
yeah. So Coach did just name Richardson the starter this Sunday, so he is back in there.
Hopefully that reset his thing and got him back ready to go. I'm rooting for him.
Sure. All right, so Reid, the Pistons been playing a lot better. They did have the tough loss tough loss yesterday at Milwaukee. Ron Holland missed the 2 free throws to win the game. So what's the state of the Pistons right now?
Yeah, I mean, another big thing I think that really turned the tide to that game that, I mean, I know you guys won't be too happy to hear it because you guys aren't big fans of his, but he's been playing great defensively at least. I think Isaiah Stewart getting ejected has not helped their case defensively because they got no size. I'm not knocking the kid because I like him. I like him as a player. I think he can possibly be good. I just think he could possibly be good in a different situation. Jalen Duren offers you nothing really, especially if he's got a guard, an athletic big like Giannis. Ron Holland, I mean, you said it, wet behind the ears, rookie mistakes. I get it. You got to make one of those, man. I mean, you do. Like that's what you're paid to do. You literally got gifted the win, like on a silver platter. You got to prove that. So, I mean, it stinks. I mean, when you go play a guy like Giannis who scores 56 points or 58 points, whatever it was in the game, it's tough to win. So they were down Ivy, they were down Hardaway. Losing Hardaway was a big bust, but I mean, Beasley still had a double-double, scored 26 points. I believe he made 9 threes, something like that. So, I mean, they're playing better, man. It really is encouraging to see the way that they're playing. I'm happy. They're obviously, I mean, the East is so bad. Like I said to you guys the other day, I mean, if they would have won that game, they would have been tied for 5th in the East, which is crazy. At 5 or it would have been 6 and 7, or 5 and 7, whatever it would have been. It's just crazy. Whatever. It's just crazy to me that they're in a division where they could easily make the playoffs. Do I want them to make the playoffs? I mean, it would be cool. I just don't think they're going to go anywhere, and you're obviously not going to go anywhere and then make it and win against a West team if you make it to the finals. So it's encouraging stuff. Jaden Ivey's playing like he's supposed to. Cade playing great. Tobias was playing good, but he fell off yesterday. There's just I'm still racking my brain as to what they should do because I think Tim Hardaway is fine starting at the 3. Tobias obviously going to be your 4. Duren. I mean, do they go and try and find another center? I don't know. Trade for a Nurkic I mean, I don't want to go after Vucevic. He might cost you too much, and just to make a 7 or 6 seed like. I wouldn't want that. So I don't know. I'm in a weird spot with him in that sense. But Duren, I think the Duren experiment has to be over, in my opinion.
I agree with everything you're saying. My biggest problem with it, and I hate to even say this right now, is the turnovers by Cade Cunningham.
Yeah.
It's been an abomination with him turning the basketball over. It's like the Miami game the other night, for example. He turns the ball over 4 or 5 times in that end of that fourth quarter in overtime. And luckily for the Pistons, they ended up finding a way to win that game. Like Reid said, they wouldn't like last year's team. There's no way they're winning that game. They would have just completely quit and folded. So that's another thing. But he's got to cut these turnovers, man. It's making me realize more and more that he may actually not be the point guard. They may actually need to get an actual point guard, but it may just be too much for Cade because you cannot keep turning the ball over 5 and 6 and 7 times a game. He's averaging 5 turnovers a game right now. Although he has high volume usage, it does not matter. He's driving the lane. He looks confused. He's getting stripped by Terry Rozier at the end of the game. Just, for me, very frustrating. I don't want to go on a rant, but just very frustrating. But all in all, the 5 wins right now, 5 and 7, right? So, even 5 and 7 right now. When did they win their 4th game last year was until almost the end of January. So, you can tell the coaching is much better. They believe in these players a lot more. The players are buying into it. JB Bickerstaff is a guy who is great with young talent and develops them. Can he get them over the hump? We don't know yet. But first, we got to get to a point where we can consistently compete for a playoff spot. So I don't know if they're going to get in. We'll see. But like Reid said, we do need another big man. Even if Beef Stew's in the lineup, it's not it. It's not it. So you gotta upgrade. You gotta upgrade that. I love what I see from Malik Beasley's last few games. He's been on fire, and obviously Milwaukee was his former team last year, so he had a point to prove. Ivy looks more inspired. He looked like the guy I thought was going to come out of Purdue and be that guy in the first place. So clean some things up. Off to a good start. I can't really complain, man. They're playing a lot better than I thought they would. So we knew they were going to get a gauntlet of a schedule to open this season. So, and I didn't know the East was going to be this bad coming out the gate, and it helps. The Magic don't have Paolo, some injuries in the league right now. Atlanta, they can beat Atlanta. Like you see the other day, Kate finally came up clutch in the fourth. But just overall, I just like where the Pistons are at. I'm happy, I can say.
Yeah, it's definitely room for him in the East. Milwaukee's down, Philly's down, Indiana's down, so it's room for them in there. I do. What'd you say?
Can we let Reid get his rant off on Joel Embiid for the people?
I don't even really have a rant right now, but it just shows you that this guy doesn't play basketball. I mean, the old cliche, the best ability is availability, and he just doesn't have it. So it's like I said to you guys, texted you guys the other day. I might be wrong about the Giannis thing now because, I mean, they won against the Pistons. Maybe they can rack together a few more wins, and I get it still early in the season. But I think Joel Embiid is not a 76er by the end of the year, and I don't think Giannis could potentially be one if they keep playing the way that they do. I think that's the Doc Rivers effect, but that's just me. I definitely think if you're Philly, you could look at it and be like, okay, Joel is only going to play 40 games this year. We may not make it to the playoffs in 40 games. We could because the East is so bad, or we can trade Joel somewhere else for draft capital because our pick is protected from OKC that we traded for 1 to 6. So if we're as bad as that, I mean, we could get 1 through 6 and get a great player, whether it's the two guys from Rutgers, whether it's Cooper if they get first. I just think you got to trade Joel Embiid. I don't think he's a great star. I think he's better on a team if you put better players around him. I've been saying it for a long time. I think he's a free throw merchant, and I think that people were kind of blinded by his stats. There's nothing against the guy. I don't hate him personally. Like, I don't hate him as a person. I just don't like the way he plays basketball, and I don't think that he's everything he's cracked up to be. I mean, he earned MVP off of shooting. I think he shot the most free throws in the NBA last season, and he didn't even play a full season.
And I agree with you that I also just did not like his debut the other night. Just lack of effort, lack of hustle.
He's lazy.
Crime. Yeah, you can't get that kind of effort. Yeah, but guys, as we know, we live in Motor City, so we know the fans out east. We expect our teams and our players to play hard at all times, and especially a place like Philly, they're not going for that. The effort was unacceptable. Paul George literally had a real injury. He's out, and they're not letting him play, but he's actually going through injury. He's out there playing hard. Maxi's actually hurt. So now you don't have Paul George, Maxi, or Embiid. Jerry McCain's out there. Kelly Oubre is playing his tail off. And Embiid goes out there and put a performance like that. If I'm his teammate, I'm pulling him to the side and I'm having a conversation with him. How are you going to decide that I'm not playing back-to-backs anymore? And then complain and said, oh, you guys don't want me ready for the postseason. Man, I'm not trying to hear none of that, man. We got all this medicine, all this technology, and these players are always hurt. These guys are – I was just telling my cousin the other day, these NBA players are hurt more than NFL players. You are coddling and babying them way too much. But that's enough. I don't want to get on a tangent but it's very frustrating coming from the times we grew up in where guys actually played. Imagine us going to a game and we don't get to see Steph Curry. He only comes here once a year, or LeBron James, or a Ja, or whoever may be out on the West Coast. It's just very frustrating.
I'll even give it to Bron. At his age, he still plays the good majority of the games. He doesn't even sit out a lot.
Exactly.
A guy who was notorious for being hurt, and I used to run him through the mud, was Anthony Davis, and he's been healthy the last 2 seasons.
Yeah,
like it's crazy. Like, I don't know, dude. And I know that people don't like when I talk bad about Joel Embiid because he's some great star. He looks lazy. He always looks slow. He complains about a lot of things that he shouldn't. He gets calls when he doesn't necessarily deserve the call. I just think he's like I'm gonna get ran for this. He is a marginally better Andre Drummond. That's what he is to me. He's a tier above Andre Drummond when Andre Drummond played for the Pistons, obviously, not Andre Drummond now, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, fun stat. Andre Drummond is second in the NBA right now among active
I think
NBA players and rebounds. He's number 2 in the NBA.
Shoot, I know I hate on Jalen Duren, but I'd take Andre Drummond back here at this point right now. He's doing just the same thing.
I don't know about that one.
He said he wanted to retire a Piston.
Go ahead. You gonna read that, Raaj? Go ahead.
He's hurt too.
That's true. Kevin Durant's hurt again.
Kawhi, my guy Kawhi.
Oh, whatever. I will say this though.
This shit,
Go ahead, read that, Raaj. Go ahead.
DeMar DeRozan stated the vast majority of NBA players are not the best in the world. Stated the vast.
I don't know if I can believe that. Yeah, I think that they are the best in the world. Everybody wants to come to the NBA to play. Like they're not. You're not seeing guys on like the Real Madrid team over in Spain being better than. They just won the Olympics, man. They are the best in the world. Like that I can't get on board with.
Before we move off the NBA, I will say this real quick before we get into football. I will say that this Philadelphia team reminds me exactly of Phoenix Suns team from last season because guys, somebody's always hurt, nobody's not playing, and when they finally get together, it's going to be a little too late. So I just want to put that out there for the basketball world.
Okay, cool. Last thing on the NBA, Adrian. Cavaliers 13-0. Are they contenders or pretenders?
They are contenders. One, got to upgrade in coaching. JB could only get those young players so far. You needed a new voice in the locker room. And Kenny Atkinson has been a championship-winning coach on the Golden State Warriors staff, so he elevates him there. 2, Donovan Mitchell is playing with his hair on fire. 3, me and Reid, one of our favorite players in the league, Evan Mobley, is playing elite basketball finally, and it is here, and you can see the maturation. And this team is just they're good. They're young. They're talented. Garland's hopefully said that he can stay healthy. He's been healthy this year. They're off to a great start. I definitely think Cleveland's a contender. You just see some new fire in them this year.
Cleveland's definitely a contender because the East is so bad. I am interested to see if they play Boston. That'd be a good team. Obviously a good.
I think they match up well with Boston.
Yeah, I think so too.
They have Mobley starting to shoot the 3. He can stretch it out a little bit. Jared Allen's a rebounding machine. Obviously, we know he catches oops and he can block shots. So you've got a superstar in Donovan Mitchell. Garland is a stud. He just has to stay healthy. And you got some guys off the bench, Strus. You got LeVert. So they got some guys. I believe that's a good team roster, top to bottom.
Atkinson was
Monty Bates.
Yeah, Amani Bates was the guy I wanted the Pistons to draft, but they didn't. Atkinson was a guy I was pounding the table for last year before they hired. Well, not last year.
The year before. The year before
they hired.
He wasn't
Monty.
coming here though.
No, he wasn't. But he was a guy that I was like, before they hired Monty, he was a guy that I thought they should have taken a look at. But I knew, like you said, he wanted to go to a team that was not the Pistons.
For sure. All right, so let's slide over to the NFL. So Adrian, Jags at the Lions this Sunday. Ford Field, Lions 14-point favorite. Zadarius Smith is going to be making his introduction. What do you expect to see from the Lions this Sunday? Coming off that
I
Sunday
expect them to do exactly what they did to the Tennessee Titans. Not even going to be close. I expect Zadarius Smith to have a good game. The Lions are going to have the starters out by the start of the fourth quarter. In my opinion, let's get them some rest, get some of these younger guys in. And then Trevor Lawrence is not playing as well, so it's the Lions against Mac Jones. So nothing more to say. Lions winning the blowout, and they cover.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with Adrian. I think they're going to do what they did to Dallas. They're going to do what they did to Tennessee. They're going to do what they did in that run when they put up 50 points on other teams. You have Mac Jones starting over Trevor Lawrence. ETN and Bigsby are both banged up, but that doesn't matter. They held Joe Mixon to 20 yards last week, and he's a far better runner with a far better offensive line. I'm pretty sure Brian Thomas Jr. is supposed to be out. I know he hasn't been practicing, I believe, but we can always double check that. Their defense is horrible. I mean, they got taken to work by the Patriots, so it's just going to be a blowout in my opinion. I think the Lions could win by 24, 25, 26, 27 points, something like that. Jacksonville's just not a good team. I don't think Trevor Lawrence plays another snap this season. I think they're going to keep him out for the rest of the season.
Okay.
Interesting take. Yeah, Lions in this one easy. this is a good first game for Zadarius Smith to get his feet wet. It should be a route, should be a track meet. Him, maybe J-Mo could have a coming out party, get in the end zone. Golf coming off the 5 picks. You want to have a more efficient, clean game, which he should be able to. Jack's defense is nothing spectacular, so expect him to get back on track, and I'm definitely expecting a blowout, a rout at Ford Field on Sunday.
Real quick, too, Thursday night football right now. Washington Commanders up 7-zip right now on the Eagles. A little over 2 minutes left in the first quarter. The ball is at Washington's own 3-yard line, second down. So just a quick update for the people.
Okay, yeah, it was at the 6, and then they tossed it to Eckler in the flat, and he got tackled. So they lost 3 yards.
Okay, so Reid, does the winner of this game win the NFC East in your opinion?
Yeah, because because Washington already beat the Eagles this year.
This is their second time playing?
I think so, isn't it? I think they beat them.
I think this is their first. Let me double check. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
I think it's their first
I
time
thought I saw something that said they won, but maybe it was from an old game. But yeah, I would think whoever wins this would win the NFC East, because obviously the Giants are. Daniel Jones isn't supposed to be playing this Sunday either. Did you guys know that?
No, I didn't know that.
I'm pretty sure Drew Lock is.
They haven't said anything yet, but if I'm the Giants and you want to move on from him, that's be the smart, because if he gets hurt, he has a $25 million injury guarantee if he gets hurt that they still have to owe him. So you don't want him to get hurt. But yes, the Eagles and Commanders do play one more time 3 days before Christmas.
All right. So it must have been an old game they showed. I'm also saying Daniel Jones because you're drafting a quarterback next season, so it doesn't matter.
Who do the Giants got? Who the Giants play this Sunday?
I'm looking at it right now. I can tell you guys.
No, not the Broncos. Someone with not so good run defense, and I can't remember who it was.
They're playing the Buccaneers.
The Bucs, the Bucs run defense.
That's in Tampa or New York.
It's in New York, but if I think Tampa wins this game. Baker Mayfield's been playing lights out. It's been a bad streak for him. He's been playing lights out football.
The Giants just aren't good. So so I think the Giants. There's another starting quarterback. I'd be surprised if Daniel Jones starts the rest of the season too.
Okay. David said Hendon Hooker sighting.
Yeah, Hendon Hooker.
Got a Cooper DeJean sighting. Okay. Inside the Eagles got the punt back inside their own 48.
Hey, DeJean's been looking good. Their draft picks, him and Quinyon Mitchell, they both been looking good. So yeah. All right, so Adrian, Ravens at Steelers. Big game in the AFC North right there. Baltimore's favored in this one though, -3. How you see this one going?
Lamar Jackson is 1-3 career record against the Steelers.
That's true. He does always play pretty bad against the Steelers, doesn't he?
We have some type of recipe that works against Lamar Jackson that contains us. He'll beat us here and there, but he's not going to destroy us. I will say that. We do a pretty good job at keeping him in the pocket. So, with that being said, you guys know where I'm leaning right now. We got the home game, so this is where I'm giving them the home field advantage. We'll be waving those towels. I believe the Steelers find a way to pull this game out. Russell Wilson, 2 touchdown passes. Najee has a good game. George Pickens has 100 yards. Steelers win 24-21. Tough. I know it's tough.
It is very tough, but they are playing like you said, they are at home, correct? Steelers are at home.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to play a factor. You always have to account DJ Watt. The Ravens offense has just been so good. I just want to know if they're going to be able to stop Derrick Henry. If they stop Derrick Henry, I'll take the Steelers to win, because the Ravens pass defense is not good. They're horrible. I think Russ would be able to game manage enough to beat them offensively because their defense is not good. But you have to stop Derrick Henry. I think he's the key to the Ravens winning that game. Deontay Johnson hasn't looked great. I have Zay Flowers in fantasy football. I don't care that he's shown as wide receiver number 9. Every time I start him, he puts up 5, and when I bench him, he puts up 25. So I'm out on Zay Flowers. He's annoying me. For that reason alone, I'm picking Steelers. No, I think as long as they can stop Derrick Henry, I think the Steelers can win. But if that doesn't happen, my more logical reason is I have to go with the Ravens because they're just a better offense. So I would take Ravens in the 3 points.
Yeah, I like the Ravens too. I don't know. Something about this game I just smell. It just seems like Derrick Henry's going to go off for some reason.
So I said you got to stop him, man. He's just been unstoppable.
Something about this game just screams Derrick Henry to me. I can see 2 touchdowns, over 100 rushing yards. So I'm gonna go with the Ravens in this one. Steelers, man. Yep. Barely pulled that one out against the Commanders last week. The guy jumped off sides. The idiot.
Yeah, but the Commanders are a good team.
They are a good team, and the refs got away with a couple bad calls in that game. So that's neither there. But I'll take a road win any way you can get it. It's always tough in the league to go on the road and get a win. We gifted them with some easy points. But I'm just going to say the Steelers are one of the best teams when it comes to covering the middle of the football field and yards allowed and receptions. So I think we'll do a good job of shutting Mark Andrews down. But it's like I said, it could go either way. These games get very, very weird. So, but not even mad. Like my boys are going against me. We'll take it and we'll ride with it.
No, I mean y'all gonna be in the mix. It's gonna be a good game. I like B more in that one, man. Just that signing of Derrick Henry was just that was just such a great move for B more, man. That was a move that really could just put him over the top.
Also the fact that Arthur Smith coached Derrick Henry for as many years as he did, so maybe Arthur Smith has the keys to the weaknesses of Derrick Henry and what can stop him. He's probably in the meet rooms with Terrell Austin and tell them what they can do to try to stop Derrick Henry. So do the Steelers make a concerted effort to completely try to shut down Derrick Henry and let Lamar Jackson beat them with their arm? I think they're going to make them pick one or two ways it's going to go down. But I think that definitely the Steelers have an edge when it comes to that.
Yeah. All right. So Reid, big one in the AFC. You got the Chiefs at the Bills. 4:30 game. Bills 3-point favorite in that one. How you see that one going? You're muted. We can't hear you.
All right, sorry. I was watching something on this today. It said, who needs to win more? The Chiefs to go 9-0, first time ever, 10-0, first time in franchise history, or Bills to stay on a 5-game win streak. Obviously, the Chiefs probably want that 10-0 pretty badly. But I don't know. I feel like they've just been escaping everything. They got the black magic. But I think the Bills are hungry. I think that the defense is – I think the Kansas City offense has not been great, and I think that their defense can line up well against them as long as they can keep that defensive line good. Von Miller, Russo, all those guys, I think they'll be able to get after Patrick Mahomes and be able to throw him off. I mean, the Broncos did it. The Broncos are a great defense, obviously, but the Bills are also a really good defense. So I think that it's going to be a battle of defenses, but I do think that the Bills can pull this out. I will say I'll be a little hesitant on it. I need to see if Amari Cooper is going to play. I know Keon Coleman has already been ruled out, but if Amari Cooper plays, I think they're going to lean on him a lot. But I'll still go with the Bills trying to run the ball, play fake with Josh Allen, James Cook. I still like the Bills to win this game.
I will say I will give it a read. I will go with Josh Allen and the Bills.
If you want to speak about a number of Steelers with Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen has Patrick Mahomes over because he always seems to beat Patrick Mahomes in the regular season. I don't know why.
In the regulars, that's my part on the lead. I'm going to take the Bills because it's the regular season here. If it was the playoffs, I'm taking the Chiefs. Because the Chiefs always find a way to beat the Bills in the postseason when it matters. But give me the Bills here to handle Mahomes and them. Their first loss of the season. And, by the way, Harrison Butker, their all-pro kicker, has just been put on IR. So that's a tough loss for them as well. They just keep dealing with these injuries, but they'll find a way. But the Chiefs, they can afford to lose a game right now at this moment. But I'm taking the Bills. They'll be hungry.
Yeah, I think this is the first clean sweep we had on our show. First thing we all agree on. I like the Bills in this one as well. Allen can beat them during the regular season. Can he beat them in the playoffs? If you're Kansas City, I think you want to lose a game. I don't think you want to try to. It's too much pressure to try to go undefeated all the way through the playoffs to the Super Bowl. You want to have a bump in the road. So yeah, I like the Bills in this game. But if the Bills beat them this time, if they have to meet up in the playoffs, Chiefs might get them back again in the playoffs. But yeah, as far as this game, no, I'm running with the Bills. I like the Bills in this one. All right, so last thing right here, I just watched the weigh-in. We got Jake Paul, Mike Tyson tomorrow, Adrian. Jake Paul's favorite in this fight, minus 198. Tyson's plus 160. So how you see this one going?
Mike Tyson in a knockout. I hate Jake Paul. I'll leave it at that. Enough said.
I would like to leave it at that. Yeah. I was thinking about this, man, and it just I would love for that to happen. I would love to see Tyson just hit him with one and just watch Jake just fall flat on the floor. I just for some reason in the back of my mind, I don't think Mike's going to get knocked out, but for some reason in the back of my mind, I just think there's something going on in the background where it's going to be like Jake's got to take him to round 7, and then Tyson has to like not take a dive, but like runs out of gas, and they call the fight because Jake's just landed so many punches in a row. I don't know. There's something in the back of my mind that says that. My heart says I want Tyson to knock him out. But there's just something weird about Jake Paul fights that I don't know. I can't stand. He's also 58 years old, so that's tough to look past. But yeah, I'm with Adrian. I hope that Tyson just absolutely rips his face off.
Yeah, look at the weigh-in about an hour ago. Tyson looked like he's completely over his antics. He showed up to that weigh-in real serious. As soon as he walked into his face, he just smacked him. So I don't think Tyson's playing with him. He's ready to fight. So it's going to be interesting one tomorrow.
I didn't see that Jake crawled up to him and then he stood up and got in his face, and I guess Mike didn't like that. He smacked him. I didn't think Adrian showed us the video from his phone. Didn't do it justice when I just looked at the video.
It looks way worse. Yeah.
It looks way worse online. And Jake was he tried to play it off cool, but you could tell he's like, damn, he hit me.
Yeah, they're building it up. Good co-main event tomorrow too. You got Serrano and Katie Taylor going at it, so that should be good. And Barrios is on that card as well. So a couple other good undercard fights on there.
By the way, before we get out of here, tomorrow I am going to the Belleville Catholic Central game at Catholic Central, #1 player in the country, as we all know. Michigan's trying to get Bryce Underwood. He will be playing, so it will be a great game. I'll give you guys the details tomorrow.
Is Catholic Central any good this year?
Yeah, they are good. I believe they're 10-1. I believe.
Okay.
So
I know they're always good, but
yeah, it's at their place. The key for them to win this game is they like to run that wing T offense. They're gonna have to keep Bryce Underwood off the field because literally their Belleville's offense is straight firepower. So they're gonna have to slow the game down if they want to beat them. But I don't think that they do that. I think actually Belleville's gonna cruise in this game.
Yeah, that should be a good one for sure.
Is your buddy's son playing, Raj?
Yeah, he's playing tomorrow. Yep.
What's his name again, Raj?
Tired of the Chiefs. I hope they lose. Yeah, we all are. Antoine.
Okay. You know what his number is?
He's #1. He plays receiver.
Okay. I'll be on the lookout for him.
For sure. All right, cool. Well, yeah, there it is. Anything else you guys want to add before we get up out of here?
We're not going to talk about Saturday?
Shoot.
John Jones, Stipe Miocic.
Yeah. Let's get that in there, Reid. Jones is the favorite in that one, right?
Yeah, I'm sure he is. I haven't looked at what the odds were, but I'm sure he is. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm kind of excited for it, but this is almost like both these guys. This is like a retirement show. These guys are both going to be done after this. John Jones even said in an interview, he said after this, I'm looking to do more. He's looking to do Jake Paul fights. He's looking to do more of the entertainment fights. He said, I'm done defending belts. I'm ready to go and fight. Basically fight for checks, I guess. So it'll be interesting. I don't know, just the way John Jones has been acting. He came up to Stipe Miocic today and said, he's like, don't talk about my kids or something like that. And Stipe didn't say anything about his kids, and so I don't know. John Jones has been so up and down, and he's ducking Tom Aspinall now. So it's just I think it's his time to go. I think he wants to go off on his terms, and this is it. So. Do I think John will win? Probably just because Stipe did not fight well in his last fight that he was in. John Jones has been out of the game for a while, but I still think that he's probably a better fighter than Stipe Miocic, so I'm going to take him. But I'm going to be rooting for Stipe, but I would take John Jones to win.
Yeah, John Jones. I'm going with John Jones as well. I'm going with John Jones. I'm a big John Jones guy. He's -625. He did say after this title fight, he wants to fight Pereira. He doesn't want to fight Aspinall, like you said. So I think the UFC was smart. They would try to make that happen. But, we'll see how this fight goes. And also we have Chandler versus Oliveira. right
Yeah.
before the co-main event. I'm going with Oliveira to just completely fold Chandler in half. This guy's been waiting forever to try to fight Conor. It didn't happen. But I don't think he wants to smoke with Oliveira.
Yeah, I'll take Do Bronx in that one too.
That's a UFC pick right there. Yeah, I like John Jones over Miocic. I know that last fight against Sarah Game was kind of quick. I know he's been fighting as much, but I like John Jones in that one for sure. Cool. Yeah, that's all I got. Anything else you guys want to add?
So 7-zip still in this game. Washington's punt with under 10 minutes left. He's getting the ball back, so it's looking like a low-scoring game right now.
Yes, sir. I'm about to go check that out. Thursday night football. So,
Sir.
good weekend of sports ahead. We got
Yes,
state
sir.
playing. Pistons NBA Cup tomorrow. Lions this weekend. Should be
Pistons winning tomorrow. They're not losing to the Raptors.
Yep.
Raptors 2.5-point favorites in that one.
Oh my gosh.
So, yeah.
All
All
right.
right. Well, yeah. Everybody, make sure y'all subscribe to the channel, like the video. Sports update. We'll see y'all next week. Peace.
Hey, boys.
Peace.